In the world of business, knowledge is power. One of the most important pieces of knowledge is something called market share. Simply put, market share tells you how much of a particular market a company controls. Think of it like slices of a pie. The bigger your company's slice, the larger its market share. Let's say you're really into sneakers. You notice that one brand, Superkick, seems to be everywhere. Their logo is all over the place, and everyone from your friends to your favorite athletes seems to be wearing them. Chances are Superkicks has a large market share in the sneaker industry. They're selling a big chunk of the total sneakers sold. Market share is important because it can tell us a lot about a company's success. A company with a large market share usually has strong brand recognition, loyal customers, and the ability to influence market trends. They're the big players in their respective industries. So how do we figure out who has the biggest slice of the pie? That's what we'll explore in the next sections. We'll uncover the different ways to calculate and understand market shares. Calculating market share might sound complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. The basic formula is simple. Market share equals company sales divided by total market sales, then multiplied by 100. Let's break that down. Imagine you own a lemonade stand. In a week, you sell 100 glasses of lemonade. Meanwhile, all the lemonade stands in your town sell a combined total of 500 glasses. To find your market share, you divide your sales, which is 100 glasses, by the total market sales, which is 500 glasses, and then multiply by 100. This gives you a market share of 20%. You're responsible for 1/5 of all the lemonade sold in town. But how do we get those numbers in the first place? How do we find out how much a company sells and how much the entire market sells? That's where things get a little trickier. Let's dive into some of the most common ways to gather this information. One of the most direct ways to estimate market share is by looking at sales data. This involves tracking how much product each company in a market sells. Sometimes this information is publicly available, especially for publicly traded companies. Other times, it's more of an educated guess based on industry reports and estimates. Think about the car industry. We can get a pretty good idea of which car companies have the largest market share by looking at how many cars they sell each year. If company A sells 2 million cars and the entire car market sells 10 million cars, we know company A has a 20% market share. However, using sales data alone has its limitations. It doesn't tell us everything about customer preferences or market trends. For example, a company might have high sales one year because of a popular product, but their market share might decline the next year if that product falls out of favor. Section 4. Consumer behavior. Following the shopping cart. Another way to gauge market share is by looking at consumer behavior. This involves understanding what consumers are buying, how much they're buying, and which brands they prefer. Companies can gather this information through surveys, focus groups, and tracking online shopping habits. Imagine you're a company that makes toothpaste. You could conduct a survey asking people about their toothpaste preferences. If 30% of the respondents say they use your brand, it could indicate that you have a significant share of the toothpaste market. However, consumer behavior can be fickle. People's tastes change, new products emerge, and brand loyalty is never guaranteed. While consumer behavior can provide valuable insights, it's not always a foolproof predictor of market share. Section 5. Market research, asking the experts. Sometimes it's best to leave market research to the pros. There are companies that specialize in gathering and analyzing data on specific markets. They use sophisticated tools and techniques to track sales, consumer behavior, and industry trends. These companies then publish reports that provide detailed insights into market share. For example, a market research firm might specialize in the smartphone industry. They would track things like smartphone sales, brand preferences, and consumer demographics. Their reports would be a valuable resource for anyone looking to understand the competitive landscape of the smartphone market. The advantage of using market research firms is that they provide expert analysis and often have access to data that isn't publicly available. However, it's important to remember that even the best market research is still based on estimates and projections. Section 6. Company reports looking inward. Believe it or not, sometimes the best source of information about a company is the company itself. Publicly traded companies are required to publish regular financial reports that include information about their revenue, expenses, and profits. While these reports don't always explicitly state market share, they can provide clues. For example, if a company reports a significant increase in revenue compared to the previous year, it could be a sign that they're gaining market share. However, it's important to consider other factors that could be influencing their revenue, such as overall market growth or changes in pricing. Company reports can be a valuable resource, but it's important to remember that they're just one piece of the puzzle. It's always best to look at multiple sources of information when trying to understand market share. Putting it all together. Understanding market share is crucial for businesses to make informed decisions about their strategies, products, and marketing efforts. While there isn't a single, foolproof method for calculating market share, by considering sales data, consumer behavior, market research reports, and company reports, we can gain valuable insights into the competitive landscape of different industries. Like many things in the business world, understanding market share is about piecing together information from various sources. It's about looking at the big picture and understanding the forces that drive success in the marketplace.